beginning to wonder what was more exceptional when Stephen Ross sat down with Joe Philbin across the table and said, "That's my man," after listening to Joe, or was he more excited when he heard Mike McDaniel say things like that? Mike, how would you face? How would you face your team after a small, short, hopefully losing streak? And he says something like that, and Stephen Ross says, "This is the guy. Get the contract." Hey, Garfunkel, get in here with the contracts.
The time.
Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
Very special morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Getting a little feedback there, a little double play. Hello. It's the Bob Shepard effect, but that has been cleared up by Mike Lubie Lubitz, probably under the guidance of one Luca Panici Lubitz. It's a getaway day. A Thanksgiving celebration gets underway tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about, is it a short work day? Do people show up at all for work today? The eggnog is flowing, I would imagine, early in the morning. It used to be at the radio station, although we never really seemed. No, people were very generous with us, Libby. They almost felt sorry for us being off there in the corner, and we were very happy to have nobody know that we were there. And I told you that in the very beginning, Libby. I said, "Hey, listen, the best thing that can happen is that nobody realizes that we're here. Let us just do our thing and leave us completely alone." It was great, but always enjoyed a Thanksgiving holiday, and hope everybody is all set to have a festive celebration with their family and friends. I was reminded on Friday's show, Mike Mayo's lunchbox out at the track, about the blown Thanksgiving dinners. You know what I forgot? And there were three that stand out. I'm sure there were others where it wasn't necessarily so friendly, maybe a little acrimony. The family was not necessarily large, and I hate to say this, but the relatives that used to come over, I want to say that almost all of them have passed, which is really a sad thing to think about. It shows you, man, Father Time knows no boundaries and is especially. What is more cruel, Father Time or the gods of gambling, Libby, in your opinion?
Oh, God.
That's a toss-up, huh?
I guess
I mean,
Father
there's a
Time.
finality. You can always find a way, maybe. I mean, not everybody can do this, and depends how many times you've started from scratch. But there's a way to get yourself together and find a way to raise more money, no? You get a job. Now you can do a lot of different things. If you have a car, you can drive Uber, make some money. So it's not impossible to rise from the ashes financially. But outside of Lazarus, I mean, has anybody ever turned that trick? Risen from the ashes, risen from the dead?
No.
Except my Don Shula lookalike has a lot of people believing. My friend Andrew, who's 86 years old, and he looks like Don Shula, like an older Don Shula, naturally. But he actually looks very young for his age. And he, I mean, had me, convincing some people that Shula actually had come back from the dead when we paraded around various sports bars. But one of the blown Thanksgiving dinners, of course, the one was on my father. Speaking of the relatives, they used to come over, and this guy was a great cook, unbelievable. He made the best sides that you could ever have on Thanksgiving, including, and he was one of the first guys with that twice baked potato thing. Where
I love it. Yep.
When it's mashed and it's got all kinds of frills around it. I mean, he used to use the little thing that you use to decorate cakes. It was absolutely fantastic. Turkeys always came out delicious, tender, juicy, just absolutely amazing. And then he had moved to Century Village. They moved to Florida, my parents, sometime, I guess maybe 10 years after I came here. Lived, they didn't live in Century Village then, but they never used the oven. I don't know what my mother's obsession was. Here's my father. He's a brilliant chef. Loved to cook. My mother actually wasn't a bad cook either. She made more of a limited menu than my father did, but she was very good at whatever she made. It was always really, really good. I like taking. She would make a veal parmesan, and I would take all these sandwiches to Shea Stadium when I was vending there, and I loved having them. It was absolutely fantastic. But for some reason, they never turned the oven on in the apartment that they bought, Lakeshore Apartments at the time, before they moved to Century Village. Never turned the oven on there either, but at least my dad had learned his lesson where he tried to microwave everything, including the turkey. That was like a disaster. Everything came out looking like it just was something that was brought back by Mike Kelly or something from a trip to Mars, and that was bad. Of course, there was the one with girlfriend that I really had only known for about a month. We decided to go to Vegas together. I think I was out there covering a boxing match, and so I had an extra plane ticket, and she came with me. But we had. Did you ever have this happen, Luby, in your many romantic adventures where there was already a dispute brewing before you left for a trip?
Oh yeah, that's
And then
never great.
I was at the time. I don't want to put pressure on anybody to do anything that they don't want to do, right? So I thought, hey, listen, if you're not comfortable doing this, just stay home. I'm okay with that. And she's like, no, I'm going. I should have known right there by the tone of her voice that she didn't really say it like that, but so she goes on a trip with me, and can you imagine a woman getting mad about this? People who gamble will understand this, and I think there should be a little bit more compassion on the part of the person that you're with, because if you're finally winning, Luby, shouldn't that be enough of an explanation as to why you didn't show up at the appointed time at a certain location? She was going to meet me at a bar downstairs, and this was at what was the place that they came on after the MGM Grand. It's still very viable there, and blanking on the name of the hotel because I haven't been there in years and years. But they were a new spectacular version of what at the time was one of the pristine places there, a real revelation when they rebuilt the MGM Grand. And sure enough, I happened to be at the roulette wheel around the corner from the bar about 10 minutes before we were supposed to get together there. She had been doing something else, shopping, whatever. And so she's at the bar, but I'm on an incredible roll on the roulette wheel, Luby. So should it not be understandable that because I showed up 15 minutes after the appointed time, that the easy explanation was, I mean, I'm showing her a stack of black chips, the likes of which I've never seen before. I've got racks of black chips. 13 black came in 3 times in a row. I pounded it the first time. I pressed it the second 2 times. And so I didn't get there in time. She gives me this look, and she's ready to go home. I was about to put her on a plane, and I made a call to Delta Airlines. A one-way ticket was $1,000. So I said, hey, listen, you're stuck here till we go home. We were going home like the next day anyway. And then one of the considerations, she said, oh, well, you know what? I invited my family over to your house for Thanksgiving. And I don't want to tell them that we have to make other plans. So can we just pretend everything is okay for one day, and
Horrible
then you never
idea.
get to see me again?
Horrible idea. Because you probably can pretend. The problem is, can she?
Actually, some of these negative feelings surfaced immediately upon the arrival of the people. And what ended up happening, she gets mad and literally boots the turkey into the canal.
That's
that
my
I-
favorite.
and I'm watching it like Tom Hanks in what was it? Stranded. What was it? Castaway was the name of the movie. Yeah. I mean, it was floating like the volleyball down the end of the canal. The tide was going out towards the intercoastal, and there goes my turkey, just rolling out there. People are running over it with boats. It was
That was
it was
classic.
pure ugliness. But then the other one was actually at Landlubbers. There was a guy there that I was friendly with because we were doing shows there. We were doing this high school game of the week show, and we had other things going there as well. And so I told this guy, I said, look, I always wanted to fry a turkey, but I'm not really the kind of guy that you want having to do that or attempt that for the first time. So he said, I tell you what, why don't you bring the turkey with you to the show, which we were doing, I guess, the night before Thanksgiving, and I'll fry it here for you. All right. I forget the name of the guy. He was a real nice guy. And so I'm in there doing a show. He started frying a turkey. I brought it in a little bit early. I don't know. How long does it take to fry a turkey, Libby? You would think it would
Oh,
be
no
fairly
idea.
quick.
Hour to 2 hours, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, whatever it was, I mean, the time that should have been designated for this, unfortunately, it wasn't in the fryer long enough. But there's no way to know that until you cut the thing open. Now, you're not going to cut it open before you serve it to everybody. So there we have everybody assembled. They're all hungry as can be. A lot of people that were at this thing said, hey, you know what? I didn't want to eat anything all day because I wanted to make sure I had plenty of room for this stuff.
Yeah.
So all the side dishes were okay. And then we get to the turkey, and I cut the first piece, and it's absolutely raw on the inside.
Oh, Jesus.
Now what do you do, Libby? You throw it in the oven for an hour. I mean, what can you do with a raw turkey that's already been fried to what you would think would be the proper amount of time to have it? And so, but we had a Thanksgiving dinner without turkey.
Oh God!
Because what are you going to do? I mean, you can't go out and find something, can you? There's no way in those
On
stores.
Thanksgiving Day, no good luck.
Look, you're bleeped. So yeah, that was the third blown one. Cutting open a turkey and it was completely raw. Now, plenty of people have had they forgot to take the turkey out of the freezer. I don't know. Have you ever had any Thanksgiving Day disasters when it came to food, the company, or anything like that? Or you lived just a charmed life, Lubie.
I don't know about that, but my mom takes Thanksgiving very seriously. So no, my mom started cooking like end of last week or beginning of this week. So
Already?
no,
Yeah, wow.
oh yeah, she started cooking. What's it, Sunday or Monday? I don't know. So yeah, she doesn't. She has like she writes everything out. Her version of like an Excel spreadsheet. Like she checks things off. She's very anal about it. So like she has yet to forget like the turkey. She's like almost perfected it over the years because everyone always assumes it's just dry. So she's made it a point to like make it really good. Like yeah, I've been lucky in that regard that my mom. We have not. Our Thanksgiving are actually pretty calm and really good in my life.
Well, I applaud that. Has been the nature of my ride is not necessarily. It seems like it's a smooth ride, and at the same time, there have been a lot of obstacles to overcome through the years. But hopefully, everybody have a great holiday. Now, the other way to ruin a Thanksgiving Day holiday, well, there are many ways, is to be a degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
It was always a tradition for me. Now I was working at racetracks, so there was an excuse for me to be out there doing TV for many, many years. We had the replay show, and I always loved the Thanksgiving Day handicap. I also liked the fact that they started the card at like 11 o'clock in the morning because, let's face it, who wants to wait around till 1 to start sending your money in? In this case, you had to do it, pass it through pari-mutuel windows, but now you can just send it in, I guess, on your phone. But it was great because post time for the first race on the East Coast. I remember going to Calder on Thanksgiving Day many, many years. And the Thanksgiving Day handicap was a feature race. And sure enough, the card would start at 11 o'clock in the morning. You'd be out of there. And it was under the auspices of this is for us to give our employees a chance and everybody that works here at the racetrack a chance to get home and have Thanksgiving dinner with their family. But for the sick degenerate gambler, it was just an early opportunity to start wagering right away. Football, can it ruin the Greek? I was on with the Greek yesterday briefly on his radio show, and he asked me, "Can gambling ruin Thanksgiving Day if you're gambling on football?"
Probably.
And I'm thinking, I can't remember the exact amount in terms of poundage, but I'm sure I've thrown up enough stuffing after suffering enough. These games, what do you do here? How cruel are the gods of gambling? You're looking at, can you possibly bet 3 favorites in a parlay? No. You know, one of the dogs is going to cover the point spread at least, maybe all 3. So I don't know how you see these games, though, Lubie. Detroit supposedly has like no offensive linemen playing in this game. They're questionable. Penei Sewell, your favorite, is questionable for this game. I think the tackle on the other side, Sewell's a left tackle, right? And the right tackle's also injured. Now, we did see Jahmyr Gibbs run for like 500 yards in their last effort there against the New York Giants, who subsequently fired their defensive coordinator after watching this atrocious collapse. The 5th time this season, the Giants 2-10 on the year, 5 games in their loss column where on occasions where they led by 10 points or more in the 4th quarter. So firing justified, you would have to say, listen, your team collapses every single time, Mario. You may as well get rid of the guy. So they put that on. That's not like firing the hitting coach, I don't think, in Major League Baseball when things are going wrong. Green Bay throttled Detroit early in the season. Detroit's been somewhat of a mystery team all year long. They do have injuries that have impeded their chances of repeating the great performance they had all year last year when they also battled injuries, but somehow were able to overcome it. Lubie, you were saying that they weren't going to be nearly as good because you don't think Dan Campbell can coach his way. He couldn't coach a dog to eat steak, in your opinion.
I've had my reservations. He hasn't totally dispelled them because they've been sort of up and down, actually, but they haven't fallen apart.
Okay.
So he's not been horrible. They're not torching the field like people thought they would. I mean, they should have lost to an average, if not bad, Giants team with their backup quarterback. If Kafka kicks that field goal, they probably Giants probably find a way to win that game. So they've been better than I thought they would be, but it's not like they're world beaters.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't been.
Well, they have a record. If you go Parcellian on this, they are what the record says they are, which is slightly above average team,
Yeah,
which is surprising.
7-4 is fine. They're not great. They're not torturing. Look, the Patriots are 10-2. I mean, and the Lions coming into this year had a lot more expectations than the Patriots. And I get it. They do play in what's turned out to be the toughest division in football. Like Packers, Lions, Bears, and Bucks are all playoff teams or playoff contenders. Like, there's no other division like that right now. The AFC West is close, but like that division's tough. So for them to be 7-4, it's no slouch, but they're not torching the field.
Up and down, very inconsistent. To trust half against Green Bay. Green Bay also, same category. All right, so we have the 3 games there. Let's get another opinion involved in the program here. We have a few things we're going to try and squeeze in here, including a big board later on with the professor. We do have Ed Garcia going to join us from Texas Roadhouse Restaurant. So I wonder how Ed is going to address and approach this program today with Ohio State and Michigan going at it. Plus, his Michigan Wolverine basketball team is kicking ass. But speaking of kicking ass, this guy's been doing it his entire life. And, I mean, no wear and tear on Tony Segreto. we were talking about how cruel Father Time can be. I mean, I see pictures of myself from 30 years ago. It's a disaster compared to, I mean, the time has definitely eroded whatever it was that I had going back then. But you look the same, Tony. How are you, my friend?
I am fine and dandy. I'm slaying it. As my daughter says, you got to change that up. So I'm slaying it. And I want to say something. I want to get something out.
Okay.
I am thankful for both you guys.
What happened, Tony, man? You must have been dealt some seriously bad blows.
No, I am. I really, really am, because you stuck with me in tough times, and I appreciate it.
Well, we're always in tough times, and
nothing new for us.
Does it not elevate the class element of the show to have a guy that has interviewed 3 or 4 presidents and had the distinguished broadcasting career that you did, and made the almost impossible? And I couldn't do this, and nor would I have any desire. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, that go ahead and transfer from the sports department, the toy department, to news. I've told you the story. I lasted a week on the city desk at the newspaper I was working at the time, the Ontario Daily Report, that there was some concern that even though I had talent as a writer and a page layout guy and an editor, that I was wasting my talents by going to Los Alamitos when I was supposed to be working my shift. And so the editor said, hey, listen, we're going to put you in charge of like laying out the paper, the front page and the front section, and edit the news. Now I am terrible at grammar and spelling, and this was when you had to rely on your own knowledge to do that sort of thing. So I was the last guy who wanted editing the news content.
How you're editing? Oh, Jesus!
Plus, I hated it. I couldn't be at the desk. I don't know how you did it. I guess you were out and about when you were doing news, although you were anchoring. But wasn't it much more fun going to various sporting events?
Yeah. For goodness sake, yes. But news was interesting. You know, I made the switch, and to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, as honest as a heart attack, news was easier to do for me than sports.
Well, I mean, how deeply involved were you in the actual production? Did you just point you at a camera and you sat there and said, well, another shooting today?
No, I did everything. I did everything that I was supposed to do, but sports to me was so intricate. There were so many backstories. There were so many people involved, so many moving parts. You know, in football, you had 22 players. In baseball, you had 18 players, 9 and 9. In basketball, you had 10. You know, you just moving parts that sometimes meshed and sometimes didn't. Sometimes you expected them to mesh and poof.
They had a glory year, though. I mean, we were talking about it the other day, where we had all these great coaches here on the scene.
Wouldn't that be great to get all those coaches back?
Well, we have a couple, I think, that are right there in the category. Spoelstra, I mean, Pat Riley's Pat Riley, legendary guy, but Spoelstra's certainly qualified to be considered as talented a coach as Pat Riley was. I don't know, that's saying a lot, but most people around the world even think that this guy is as good as it gets. And then we were dead wrong about Paul Maurice with the Panthers. So we thought he was a stiff. Had the losing record. Losing most losses in NHL history. Comes in here and he's been brilliant.
I did this. I forget what they call the week, but it ended with all 4 coaches coming on the stage. So
nice.
You had Shula and Riley and who else?
Well, you had I don't know if Doug McLean wasn't the coach of the
McLean, not him, but
did he follow Roger Nielsen into the job?
Yes, as the Marlins coach.
Oh, Jimmy Leland.
Leland probably was there when Shula was there. Yeah, Leland.
Yeah. So we had them all together. I mean, it was great. We auctioned off their ties, and Riley cut Jimmy Johnson's tie off. And,
oh yeah, wow.
Yeah. But it was terrific. It was terrific.
Schnelke, we had some good ones there. Of course, there was a long string there of excellent Hurricane coaches. All right, so what are you most excited about here from the sporting standpoint, Tony? Because I always love the 3 Thanksgiving Day football games, the NFL.
Oh, I love the games. I can't wait for the games.
I'm glad I ended in an extra one. Kind of makes it nice to have something at night. Got great college basketball going on. You have today, you have almost a full slate, 30 of 32 teams playing in the NHL. Got a lot of meaningful games going on in the NBA. And then, of course, continues Friday. You have NFL football and rivalry week in college football. So what do you think, Tony? Where are you going to – what's going to be the focal point of your attention? Are you going to be
Well, first of all, I got to say, if one more person asks me what I think about Miami and Notre Dame, I'm going to
I think it's been resolved, though. I saw now that Miami is 12th in the new CFP poll, put out by the CFP people, and they're actually the 11th seed. So, as a lot of people were predicting, they had them in there as the 11th seed, even when they were ranked 13th in the CFP. But this week that changed. So, right now they're in there, unless, as Lubie anticipates, they somehow blow this game to Pittsburgh.
Well, the problem is, and people aren't talking about this, the 12 that they have don't include the best G5 team, and they don't include the ACC champion because Miami right now is not even in the conference championship game. So that's why, if you notice, even when Miami got bumped into the top 12, the Canes fans are still arguing because they know it's hollow. Like that, those rankings are not two teams that, by all accounts, are supposed to make it in are not there now. They're not putting in the teams that, like, again, the ACC championship game hasn't happened, so they can dream that Miami needs like 7 things to happen for them to get an ACC championship game. But they're having their wet dreams and putting Miami in there because Miami is the most national program. Miami has been ranked in the top 15 pretty much the entire year. And they're right now, Virginia and Georgia Tech and SMU don't have the same weight as Miami. So they're hoping Miami, I guess, finds their way there. My dilemma is, and that's why I think Miami Notre Dame argument is an easy one for Canes fans to make. I don't think that's the actual argument. I think the argument is, what do you do with the ACC champion? Because the ACC champion right now is going to be a team that's ranked 20th. Miami's ranked higher. And that's what I saw yesterday, which I thought was one of the most ignorant things I've ever seen. Well, it shouldn't matter who wins the conference. If the team that's not even in the game is ranked higher, they should get in. Okay, then don't have a conference championship. Like, don't lose 2 games in your conference. Like, I don't know what the hell to tell you. Again, talking to the wrong guys. I'm a fan of a team that went undefeated and won their conference and got left out. So I don't feel bad for the Cane fan. Like, I don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for Utah. If you lose that 2nd or 3rd game and you're not in your conference championship game, yes, Bama's made it before. We know the SEC is not this. We know even the Big Ten with Ohio State. We know that, come on, man. Like, to compare a team from the ACC to the SEC and the Big Ten, grow up, guys. It's really a power 2. They throw a bone. One conference is going to get 4 or 5 teams. The other going to get 3. Like, they're not lying to you in what conferences matter. To compare the Alabamas and the LSUs and the Ohio States getting in without being in their conference championship to Miami is ignorant. And for Miami to jump the actual conference champion to me, then you need to throw out conference championships. Like, Miami's not even in the game. Like at least in those circumstances, usually the conference championship champion gets in as well. Like last year, right? You had a Clemson and SMU get in there. You can't have the ACC conference champion not get in and Miami get in. So that's the problem is it's missing the ACC champion because right now Miami can't be that. And it's missing the group of 5 champion, right? Because that's
they can't they can, Lubie, as long as
like
certain dominoes fall. Yeah.
like
we talked about it the other day. You need like a highlight series of miracles where you need Joey to overserve on a potential playoff.
Yes.
And it's not happening, man. Because
like,
he has like one overserve in his career.
And then they need to beat Pitt, but by this much, but not by this. It's like the Dolphins back in the day when the Dolphins would lose in December. So now the last week you're like, it's like the SATs. You're trying
like Tom Oliwadati talking about his defense after they got gashed by Buffalo.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, if we didn't have this go wrong and this go wrong and this go wrong, we would have won." I said, "You have a coach. They went wrong."
Thurman Thomas didn't break off those 3 60-yard runs. We held them to 2 yards a carry. But unfortunately, he scored 3 touchdowns on you in the first quarter. And that was great. And this was always a lot of fun because we never knew the answers to this, where you would break down the last week of the season playoff scenarios. But when Lubie's right, I mean, they need beyond a series of miracles to find their way into the ACC championship game. Plus, Lubie believes they're going down in flames at Pittsburgh.
I don't think that game's an automatic win. Like that's my thing with this argument is
I don't think so either, Lubie.
You're checking the box that they're automatic. Like Pitt is the kind of team that gives them they're coached well. They don't make dumb mistakes. The quarterback is starting to play better. They run the ball well. Like. It's on the road, which they haven't had to do that a lot, and their struggles have come on the road. The weather's going to be supposedly horrendous because it's late November in Pittsburgh. Like they may win the game, and that's fine. But this, to me, the argument's dumb. Let them win this game first before you guys really
and
start.
Then you have the Mario factor.
Well, and maybe he can find a way to lose this thing. What do you think? Pittsburgh and Miami. What's your prediction, Tony Segreto? Plus 6.5 with Pittsburgh. Also, let me make the equation even more tempting for you to go ahead and say Pitt. Plus 6.5. It's going to be freezing. I don't think Carson Beck has ever been in temperatures lower than 89 degrees.
I see. I hate to say it. It pains me to say it. It kills me to say it.
Oh, no, don't tell me you're going Pitt. Tony? I don't know what happened to him, Lubie. What happened to him? How many times were you accused of being a blatant homer in all of those years that you were making those Dolphins schedule predictions?
I may have to go Pitt. With the 6.5, I may have to go Pitt.
Yeah, with the points, especially with the points.
The switchboard was bombarded with calls, hate mail coming in, predated email, everybody. What's wrong with Segreto? He's a homer. Well, back then, though, you could count on the Dolphins actually having pretty good seasons because they had that long run where, remember, it changed. I used to love the media guide that was put out by various PR guys with the Miami Dolphins over the years, including Harvey Green. And they had the same story that they would amend in the beginning at the opening of the media guide, which was a very, very valuable tool to have if you were a member of the media or if you were a fan. It was very enjoyable because you really got a lot of information there. And they kept having to amend. Don Shula has never had a losing season. Don Shula has had never incurred a non-winning season when he would go 8-8 like 4 years in a row. And then Don Shula's only had one losing season in the last 39 years. They kept having it. That was the only paragraph they changed. Everything else stayed the same. But,
yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah. Well, let's hope the Mario Cristobal factor doesn't rear its
it really did
in this game.
I hope so too. You know, I'm going to go into this game. I'm not betting the game. But
what do you mean you're not betting the game? What's the point of watching?
But you know what? I'll be a nervous wreck.
Okay, I don't get on edge anymore about the Canes, and I used to always be overwhelmingly confident that they were going to go in and stomp whatever competition they were facing back in the heyday. There, you'd figure, okay, Nebraska, no problem.
This is one of those games that you just don't know.
All right. Now, we're waiting on Ed Garcia. I don't know. Lubie might be getting some input on Ed Garcia.
I'm waiting for him. I sent him the link. I'm hoping he joins shortly. I'll shoot him a text now.
Okay, and see what's happening there because we do have to look at Ohio State and Michigan.
Yes, big. Yep.
That's going to be a huge game coming down.
And obviously, and Michigan has beaten them 4
I
years.
think Michigan can do it. I think.
You think they can win the game?
Yes, I do.
Win. Okay.
I mean, they can't. Look, Ohio State hasn't played anyone. Like they really haven't. Like they
haven't played anybody.
No, their schedule. People talk about it. If anyone had the schedule, they'd win 10 games.
You know, they're silently number one.
Yeah, look, they deserve number one, but we've seen that when teams get into this place where they're beating up on bad teams every week, and then they have to face whatever Michigan is. They are tough. They're physical. We know that. Like, and that's what's they've struggled with. Is it 4 years, Mr. Garcia? This will be the 5th year you're hoping for.
Where are you? Where are you, Ed?
I'm in the office.
Okay.
I got that's all my books that I read at some point. They didn't retain any information, but you know,
yeah.
Yes.
I read 3 books cover to cover in my lifetime. One was Slugger in Right Field by Roger Maris, supposedly. The book.
Yes.
I think he might have had a ghostwriter involved there also. It was a book of fiction, by the way. All right, so what's happening here with Ohio State and Michigan? And we do have to touch on your Dusty May Michigan basketball team, which looks really, really good so far this year, Ed Garcia. But no, will you be there for this? You wouldn't miss this, would you?
No, I do. No. You know, there's 2 ways I enjoy the game. I was there 2 years ago. It was an amazing time. I got to run the field. One of the best videos I have. They were playing Mr. Brightside, which is now the song they officially play pretty much going into the 4th quarter at home, which is a lot of fun. But you know, having an unlimited supply of bourbon in one hand and a whipping stick in the other is a great way to watch the Michigan game on the big screen,
especially on a cold day.
And you know, it is. They are calling. It's 30 degrees this Saturday. I was reading last night. There might be some snowflakes, which again, I don't think that's going to impact the game one way or the other. Both teams are from the Midwest. They should be, you know, used to that cold and ready to rock and roll. But overall, I feel that you know, it's going to be a really good game. You know, there's a mental piece for sure. The person that struggles the most is Crying Ryan, Mr. Day. He just can't get over how to handle that intensity a little bit. You know, the stadium, no matter how many times you go there, 112 to 120,000 people is always going to rock your world.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I know that Ohio State, I already placed a few early wagers, was going between – Michigan's getting 10 to 14-ish, depending on what day you look.
Are you using Tony's bookie where he gives you like an extra 5 points on every
Has it got higher?
When he was betting with this guy, I mean, it was like the most charitable bookmaker in the history. I always complain that the guy whose bets I book gets his lines from the Jewish Journal, which they're like 3 weeks old. But I see 10 and a hook on this game, Ed Garcia, and I see many people saying that the rivalry alone is enough to keep this close. How do you see it transpiring, though? What's going to take?
That's true, I think.
A couple things, you know. I mean, I will throw out there Michigan's down. You know, our captain, Bredson's out. Justice Hayes is out. You know, so there's a little bit of concern there. But Ohio State's got some injuries. We'll know more about it in the next couple of days. But you know, I'll tell you, strength of schedule for University of Michigan, there, you know, and again, I'm not expert, but the strength of schedule, they say Michigan was harder versus Ohio State. They're saying Julian's saying his ratings, you know, from the beginning of the season to the end of the year has changed a little bit. It's going to be about all the small details. Any mistake can be exploited. And when you get that breakaway, as soon as the first team gets a breakaway, that is mentally going to destroy the other team for a good 5-6 minutes. You won't be able to shake it off, and they're going to control the game. So if you can keep exploiting those small mistakes, hey, that's it. And I'll tell you what's going to be unusual for Ohio State is going to be our quarterback, because that boy can run. So Bryce Underwood, you know, he gets that ball and turns around. I mean, he's got quite a few touchdowns already this year.
I know you're a fan. I keep seeing this, and I actually thought this myself. Has Underwood been underwhelming considering the hype for Michigan this year? How do you feel about it as a diehard devotee of the Michigan Wolverines?
Well, in the beginning of the season, I felt, his completion rate was pretty mediocre, but was amazing for an 18-year-old. So, it's like, okay, hey, I wasn't sure about all the hype, if this is the guy, but we quickly learned that our current wide receivers didn't know how to catch the ball. So we've upgraded our wide receivers and the percentages have gone up. It's pretty amazing. The person you throw it to catches the ball, it's considered a completion. Genius. So now we have better receivers.
You sell a bunch in theory.
Yeah, it's amazing. In the game, you get more points. It's so much more fun. So I think that's made a very, very big difference. But the poise that Bryce Underwood has for an 18-year-old is something that is astronomical.
Really, Ed, you're right, because he's 18. He's just at a high school.
Right.
A year ago, he was playing for his high school championship and
taking geometry.
Yes. And Saturday, he'll be playing for a Big Ten championship.
Absolutely.
He's also playing for $12 million, which that enhances the expectation that
do you think
he's going to be a big time player right away.
Do you think that Ohio State has had such a soft schedule that they haven't been tested at all yet?
That's my thought.
Yes, I agree. I mean, because I hate to say this, because in the beginning of the year, I said, hey, Penn State was going to be a contender, and we know how that worked out. So that was probably going to be one of their big games to get tested. And I also feel that, when Ohio State comes, against their schedule, that they carry such hoopla that some people feed into that, and we absolutely do not, because for us, back in 1816, when Michigan first started, we already hated Ohio State. So,
all right, Tony, too. You mentioned this earlier. I know this was a huge debate all around the country, and may still remain so right up until the time they decide who's going to be in the postseason. But what was your answer to Notre Dame, Miami, Mr. Miami, and Notre Dame? Who was more deserving? You have the head-to-head, which always should be the ultimate criteria, but then you have two really stupid losses later on in the season if you're judging progress. I mean, I saw where supposedly the committee is going to take into account with Ole Miss and their status, what Lane Kiffin's decision is as far as continuing to coach the team, which, I mean, you would think that had nothing to do with their record, what this guy's going to do next year, or if he's going to be available, would he leave before the playoff even took place? I can't imagine that. So what was your answer to Notre Dame, Miami, Tony Segreto? What did you tell people? I don't know. I'm in the middle of that. It's an debate.
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle, really in the middle of this, because Notre Dame lost by 5 points to both teams early in the season.
Yeah, I think it was a combined 9 that they lost by to A&M and Texas A&M and Miami.
And then they went on a roll. They've blown everybody out. Everybody. I mean, there wasn't a question.
Put up 70 last week against weak opposition. But what do you think, Ed? If you were a committee member, do you give the nod to Notre Dame or Miami as they stand today to get into the playoff if one has to go?
Notre Dame.
I feel Notre Dame, just the consistency. I feel the losses have been, but close, but the strength that they have displayed on the field, which I don't even know how that is. Well, I mean, it is factored because it's voted, but you can definitely feel that they have a very solid rhythm, solid reputation.
You can see that every Saturday.
Yes.
If the running game, I just it pains me to say it, but I just take Notre Dame over Miami right now.
We're going to have to burn the tapes of this show, Tony. Start circulating around town.
It's the truth, though, because, Notre Dame, they got 2 excellent running backs. They have a great 2 great wide receivers, and their freshman quarterback. You forgot he's a freshman already. He's running the team smooth. So I just give the nod to them.
All right. At least you did express that it pains you to say that, which is a good qualifier. All right, Ed, what's happening? I know you said places are closed Thanksgiving, or did you have one store open? What was the deal, Texas Roadhouse?
We actually all are closed tomorrow. So our team gets to enjoy Thanksgiving. Normal hours, well, let me rephrase that. We close at normal time today, which should be 10 p.m. at all the locations. However, some of our roadhouses are open up for lunch today. So if you are craving a steak, we know, as most of us are not allowed in the house today if someone at home is making Thanksgiving dinner. So, a couple of big things. You may know tonight is the largest bar drinking night. Lubie is ready. He's going to get in line in about 17 minutes, he told me.
Luke and I are going to torch the town.
That's right. So, but you can get into your Texas Roadhouse probably a little bit early today because people are leaving work. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on in the kitchen at home. But think about Texas Roadhouse, for a couple of reasons. One, call ahead. You can get some extra mashed potatoes, green beans, corn, and even some fresh baked bread tomorrow. You can pass off as your own. And then Friday, we do open in a lot of our locations early. I'll tell you, though, it is one of our slowest Fridays of the year, food-wise, but it is our busiest gift card day out there. So if you haven't had Texas Roadhouse and you're looking for an extra deal, Friday's a great day to go. I would recommend calling. I know it's not a lot of fun to use the phone. We want to just use the internet. I don't know if you know what that is, Lubie, but anyway, to see what specials they have going on. On Friday, we'll have Roadhouses, typically $100 gift card. You get 20 off. Now, you can give the $100 gift card away and keep the 20 for yourself, or use both for yourself. But then some Roadhouses are even giving away our peanut buckets, a steak sauce, our peanuts to go. And I think you have had it. If not, I got to order you guys some, but that peanut brittle will also be sometimes something. Now,
your peanut brittle is fantastic.
It is absolutely insane. It pains me to pay for it, but I buy it and I'm like, I'm going to make this bag last, and it's about 6 minutes because it is really, really, really good. But there's a lot of great stuff, and some of those run till about noon. It's like one of those like blockbuster specials, but each one does a little bit different. That's what's cool, because every Texas Roadhouse has its own owner operator, and they get to kind of design what they're going to do for Black Friday. But we'll sell probably $20,000 in gift cards per store on Friday.
Very nice.
Great stopper, great deal. It's awesome.
Very good.
Do you ever fry turkey for the staff?
We do. I've had it, today will be my third time, but we do Friendsgiving all week for the staff, except on, shout out to Kendall. I was there on Monday, and they did the jamon with the pineapple and the cherries, and we had the mojo pork, and it was the Cuban style with a little bit of Puerto Rican in there. Friendsgiving is what we called it. So we bring in the staff to celebrate. So that way everyone truly takes Thursday off, except for up in Vieira and my store in Melbourne. They actually they play flag football. Well, I don't know if it's really flag. It's flag intended, but there's no around.
Somebody gets flattened. All right, we have to say happy Thanksgiving to both of you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, my friends.
Here is going to give us a couple of college plays for the Thanksgiving weekend, so we can make some money out there, plus a big board. Tony, happy Thanksgiving. Always great. We're thankful to have you on the program. Ed Garcia, can't thank you enough for all your support over the years. Just absolutely fantastic.
We'll see you guys on Friday. On Friday.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for being with us, both of you guys. And we're going to bring in the professor in just a moment here. We'll take a short break and come back. The professor about to join us here on the program in a moment. Now that.
The time.
He's on fire, by the way, Lubie tells me, in college basketball. So that's great. It's 8:46.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. Let me ask you a question. What do you look for when you go out to eat? Good food, obviously, friendly atmosphere, not too loud, but good energy, reasonable prices, and a place where you feel comfortable. All those ingredients, no pun meant there, are hard to find unless you're talking about the Texas Roadhouse. You see, they encompass all of those attributes. Really, really good food, amazing atmosphere, good for a family, good for a date, or just a night out for yourself, and prices that will make you extremely happy. Their ribs unmatched, steaks hand-cut every day. Everything, and I mean everything, is made on site, including their incredible bread. It's the one day, folks, that you can forget about low-carb diets. Trust me when I tell you, Texas Roadhouse, your restaurant, your destination when you say, where should we go and eat tonight?
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.
Joe Bees. The bees collect the pollen, bring it to Joe, he packages it, and he gets it to you. It's simple, 100% natural, and it's good for you.
There's only one place to get Joe Bees, and that's from me. Joe B.
If you want to look and feel good, call 877-300-5632.
The world, I mean, if my point was ever going to be embellished and going to be proven true, the world has gotten me sugar now.
Grab a bagel and a schmear, plus some Defo and Lubie. Welcome back to the Defo Show.
This is a special occasion here, joining us on this Wednesday, a getaway day for us. We won't be with you tomorrow or Friday with this program, but we did want to get to the professor and leave everybody with a holiday laugh here with the big board. And, of course, opportunity to make some money. And as very puzzling as the college football season has been for a lot of people, including expert handicappers like the professor.
Exactly.
College basketball has been an opportunity to crush it early in the season, Lubie tells me, which I'm very happy about. So we want to get some picks. We have sort of a limited amount of time here, but let's get some selections, and then we'll go right into the big board, Professor.
Okay, let's just start with it. College basketball today in the Players Era tournament, which has been, great for everybody except people who love to watch Impractical Jokers reruns on. Because as Blake and I were discussing yesterday, somewhere in America for like the last 2 days, there's been somebody who loves the reruns of Impractical Jokers that they play on True TV 24/7, who is freaking out that they're now playing college basketball on True TV in November. But it's been an interesting tournament so far. Got a few games today. I hate to do this and pick against Defo's Orange, who made a pretty good showing of it on Monday, taking Houston overtime. They lost by 11 yesterday to Kansas, which I think is kind of a bad loss without Peterson in the game for Kansas. Playing an Iowa State team that I think has been really impressive over the last couple of days, including notching a win on day one over St. John's, 83-82, and then come back and just slapped Creighton in the face yesterday by 18. Currently showing this number at 9. So we'll take Iowa State minus the 9 in the afternoon game. Come back with that. Tennessee, very impressive last night, beating Houston, only laying 4.5 to a Kansas team that I think it's only 4.5 because of the brand name here. Remember, Kansas got slapped over the weekend, and right now not looking that hot. Again, don't have Peterson. They got beat down by Duke over the weekend. They did lose to North Carolina by 13 earlier in the season. And Tennessee won a game yesterday that really Tennessee traditionally doesn't win. Tennessee shot poorly from 3 yesterday against Houston and still managed to come up with a top 25 win on a game where they didn't shoot the 3 ball well. So I think Tennessee minus the 4.5 here is a bit of a steal. For those wondering, I'm going to pass on the Gonzaga-Michigan game, which is sort of the feature game of the day, simply because both teams have been playing way too well to try to pick on a very thin line. Gonzaga laying 1.5 there. I think that's one just watch and enjoy and sort of put away in the memory bank for future reference, because both of these teams could run deep during the NCAA tournament and, be good throughout conference play. College football, we do have a couple of plays. Again, proceed with caution. I hate doing this. I'm going to pick the Miami Hurricanes -6 against Pitt. You look at the way the Canes have played since the loss to SMU. They basically, and honestly, Bob was schnoozing, who was calling the game, trying to pretend like that Virginia Tech game was a scare for the Hurricanes, or it was close because Virginia Tech cut it to 10 at some point at home. Give me a freaking break. Like the Canes are playing really well. It's a thin line for, given the name value. Like the Canes minus the 6 at Pittsburgh. Alabama only laying 6 or 6.5, depending on where you see it, to Auburn is the mystery line of the week to me. I have no idea why that number would be as low as it is, but we like Alabama. And finally, UNLV, although they're laying 7.5, Nevada's rotten, and UNLV has been a bit of a buzzsaw the last week or so.
All right.
The last few weeks.
Excellent. 3 plays college football, 2 plays in college basketball, and a game to watch with great interest. Interesting, Dusty May, Michigan, 30-point blowout yesterday over a ranked Auburn team.
He's doing such a good job at Michigan, and I'm still not a fan because of his Bobby Knight lineage. But
yeah,
I like from FAU. And FAU to Michigan is such a huge jump.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he got FAU to the Final Four, but still, in terms of recruiting, in terms of budgeting and everything else, that is such a huge jump, and he has transitioned so well. Like, you have to acknowledge this guy as one of the, really up-and-coming young players.
Unranked Maryland, but Gonzaga blows them out by 39 yesterday. So, like you said, both teams playing really, really well, and people are saying that the people that do the preseason rankings probably were sleeping on Gonzaga, which has always been one of your favorites.
I've been honestly saying that for like a couple of weeks now, that Gonzaga started this season, I think 21 or 22 was underrated. They were more of like a top 10 team, maybe not top 5, but somewhere in that 5 to 10 range to me.
2 forwards really doing a good job for them.
PK, who seems like he's been there for about 9 years. But yes, he's really well. He's also one of those guys who's probably not going to have a huge NBA career because he's a straight up power forward post player type, but he's only about 6'9", and not really bulky or anything. So he is one of those guys who ends up being in college for half of forever. But yeah, he seems like he's been there a while.
All right, a special holiday edition of the Big Board. Going to get right to it here as trying to squeeze it in, and we don't want to compromise the professor's opportunity to elaborate on some of these things. So let's hit it. Mike Lubie Lubitz, the professor of the Big Board for this week.
And this week, we're bringing you the Big Board of the worst Thanksgiving traditions, which subject near and dear to my heart. And really, like, Thanksgiving should be one of my favorite holidays because it's just about eating like a big giant pig and watching football.
Yep.
But there are certain things that kind of ruin Thanksgiving.
All right.
And we thought we'd go over them to bring you, going into your Thanksgiving Day, the worst of Thanksgiving traditions. And we ready to start here? Is this the screen we're going with?
I don't know. I don't know why it's doing this. The screens have been freaking weird.
Okay, so we can just roll with this one. Let's start with number 5, which is people who do the freaking turkey trot. And really, this just goes in with the people in your life, that friend in your life who wants to like bring their health and fitness into freaking everything. Like, give us fat slobs one day a year to just eat like pigs and drink too much and watch football on the couch. We don't need to go run a freaking 10K on Thanksgiving. Like, that's exact opposite of what the Pilgrims and the Indians wanted us to celebrate on Thanksgiving. Like, you are
Miles Standish running a 10K.
You people are an abomination. Let's get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and run 5 miles to do a turkey trot on Thanksgiving. You people sicken me. You are the worst. Like, is there any? And honestly, I think they do this now. I saw one advertised on the internet where they now do like a biking thing on Thanksgiving morning. You're even worse than the turkey trot people, running around with your goddamn bicycles at 6 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. Like I said, give us fat slobs one day to just be totally gluttonous. One day, freaking day a year. Is it too much to ask? One day a year without having to deal with your fitness crap. Like,
give us an effing break. All right, that's number 5, the turkey trot.
Right, and they give us crap for gambling on football.
Right.
And, we don't do that 365 days a year, but you jackasses are going to get up at the crack of dawn and go running on Thanksgiving. Sickens me.
All right, toss that one out the window. Number 5, number 4.
Number 4, very possibly one of the worst American inventions of all time, and that is ambrosia salad. That thing your grandmother created in like 1950 that is just diabetes in a bowl. Like like, and it doesn't even taste good. Like, I don't think once you're past the age of 6, anybody finds this anyway palatable. And on top of it, the people who still make this, excuse me, make a gigantic bowl of it. Like a humongous bowl of this crap. Who can stomach more than one spoonful? Like, why do you need a gigantic bowl? You can't tell me someone's waking up the next day and go, you know what I want? Another bite of that marshmallow and mandarin oranges and maraschino cherry salad. Let me have that for some leftovers. Like, honestly, I feel like this was a recipe created by the Russians in the 1950s to kill America. I really feel like they paid the Betty Crocker people to slip this into the cookbook. And somehow every grandmother in the United States was like, oh, marshmallows and mandarin oranges. The kids will love that.
I like the little cherry on top, too.
Let me make a 2-gallon bowl of this because everybody's going to want a whole bunch of this. No. Even the people who want to be polite to grandma and eat some of it want like one spoonful of this crap. Nobody wants a whole plate full of ambrosia salad. And honestly, it's like everything else Thanksgiving. You know it's crap because you only serve it once a year.
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to take someone at home is a question that you often have to dodge because it's the only thing left that has any substance in terms of volume. All right, that's number 4, your grandmother's diabetes salad.
Number 3, everything about freaking Black Friday. Like, and I used to be one of these people. I used to be one of the people like, oh, Walmart's selling a gigantic TV for $175. I should go to Walmart. But let's remember the progression here. It used to be like it was just a sale. Like, we didn't open at special times or anything. We just had a big sale on Friday. Then it progressed to, oh, we're going to open at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So like everybody would get up at the crack of dawn and go line up. To now they open at like freaking midnight. So people leave their Thanksgiving dinners to go stand in line at the worst stores in America. It's always like Walmart and Target is here in the picture and Best Buy. And when the hell do you ever go to a Best Buy except Black Friday these days? Like, nobody goes into a freaking Best Buy. And now if you look at the specials aren't even freaking good. You know, one of the big ones is this year? It's a big discount on a freaking Dyson vacuum cleaner. How much is your fucking wife going to beat the hell out of you if her big Christmas present is a discount vacuum cleaner you went and bought on Black Friday? Like, who the hell? Oh, you know what I really want for Christmas? A vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Like, the other thing that now I noticed they're selling, the big one online, is you get streaming services at a discount on Black Friday. That's what America needs, is more freaking streaming services. Like, I already pay for like 7 of them, and like they're trying to rope me into doing Peacock so I can get Big Ten basketball. Like, do I really need? How many of these freaking streaming services do we need that we're now selling them for a discount on Black? Doesn't that tell you that they should just combine them all to one and sell it at a reasonable price?
And just like there's always some story about a jock who blows his fingers off on July 4th setting off fireworks, there's always some poor schmuck that gets mowed down by the mob.
Again, this is the whole thing about lining up at the freaking Target or Walmart. Okay, and these people start at like 6 o'clock at night on Thanksgiving. Yeah, after Thanksgiving dinner, they go sit in line at a freaking Walmart. Like, you can line up, and people might be orderly during the lineup phase, but the second that door opens, it is Darwinism jamming through the door. Like, they might be polite even walking through the entrance door, but once you get to like that second door,
mad dash
crap, like, and don't think the Walmart and the Target people are going to help you. Like, the Walmart and Target employees are sitting behind the cameras gambling on like which is the first senior citizen that's going to get run over with a shopping cart. Who's the first one who's going to sprint to the TVs? Like, who's cutting off someone's finger for the Cabbage Patch? Like, it is the Roman Colosseum, and you are the gladiators once those freaking doors open. Don't fool yourself about the freaking line.
It's crazy. All right, that's number 3. Number 2.
Number 2, people are going to be very angry about this because there are some people with bad taste, probably male, because he always seems to be on the opposite side of me, who are going to disagree with me here. But pumpkin pie is the worst pie.
Defo actually
I
likes
don't know why the hell America has it. Number one, if you're just going to steal soul food, steal the good version of it.
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie is vastly better than pumpkin
Way
pie.
better.
And
Very
even sweet
similar,
potato pie is not that high on the
Very
overall
similar.
pie list.
Very similar.
I like
The
both.
apple pie is better. The cherry pie is better.
Yes.
All sorts of the pecan pie is better. Like
Yes.
pumpkin pie is basically the last pie on the freaking list. And I think at some point, like the Pumpkin Council,
Yeah.
like bribe people on the news to tell you how great pumpkin pie is with Thanksgiving. I don't know why the hell we're still dealing with this pie, 100 years later. It's a crap. I look back when it was the Pilgrims and pumpkins was the only thing they could figure out how to grow. I get why pumpkin pie was a thing. But we're way past that. We have, genetically modified foods now. You can grow good fruits during the winter to serve with your Thanksgiving dinner. Stop trying to force feed people pumpkin pie because it is pure crap. It's like everything else pumpkin. Pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin this, pumpkin that. It's garbage.
I'm a pumpkin pie fan, but
Defo likes it.
Like I said, someone with bad taste is going to strongly disagree with me
That's
here.
funny. Mayo
I
actually
remember
does.
the first time I had a sweet potato pie. I was at the People's Ribs. I just moved to Miami. I was hanging out with a couple of brothers, and they took me to the People's Ribs. I stood out there. I was probably Brother Flowerface to them, and I go in there, and we got a few strange looks, but nonetheless, they served me a sweet potato pie, and I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, well, again, this is what happens when white people try to cook soul food.
Yeah.
Like you've done it. Where like you've been there at some very, very white person's house whose family is actually from like Minnesota or something, but now they're in the South. So she's serving fried chicken, and it's awful.
Yeah, this was
like,
Liberty City, a very, very famous
like
place.
stopping at a taco store in Wisconsin, and they call it tacos, and there's no flavor to them. When white people try to imitate other people's foods, much like we've done with the pumpkin pie, knocking off the sweet potato pie, the results are awful.
All right. What tops the list?
Number one, again, some people very into it. Those people are very stupid. Number one, the worst Thanksgiving Day tradition. It's 2025.
We're
still waking up in the morning to watch a parade centered around freaking balloons. Like, what adult gets excited about balloons in 2025? The freaking blimp goes up 200 times a year in Pompano. You see people gathering around. Oh my God, it's the biggest balloon I've ever seen. And by the way, this is real. The new balloon in 2025 is freaking Pac-Man. What do kids in 2025 know about freaking Pac-Man? They've never played a game of Pac-Man. Nobody's played a game of Pac-Man in like 40 years.
Pretty much.
Like Macy's like, oh, big new balloon this year. The kids are going to love it. We've got Pac-Man. Like kids are going to wonder what the hell that is. Like they've never played Pac. And one of the big bands that keep advertising this year, it's Foreigner. Like when was the last time Foreigner haven't had a freaking hit? Like how far down the list of Macy's acts did you have to go until you decided Foreigner is going to be one of our headliners?
You expect them to be opening for some nondescript band at the Pompano Amphitheater or something.
You expect them to be dead. Like, I mean, 80s rock and rollers, to tell me the members of Foreigner are still alive, that's shocking news. Like, you tell me like half the band didn't OD on cocaine during the 1980s?
You always root for inclement weather to literally rain on the parade?
I don't do it because I'm the one who refuses to watch this crap because it's balloons and bands that nobody have cared about for 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I was a kid and they were still trotting out the freaking Felix the Cat balloon for like 20 years. I'm like, nobody's watched a Felix the Cat cartoon since like the 1940s. Not only am I too young for this, my parents and possibly my grandparents are too young to have fond memories of Felix the Cat. Underdog, like that was another one that was around for 130 years. I would look at that thing and go, what is that? Why is that a thing? Why is that a balloon? I have no idea what that is. And I feel like today's kids not far removed from it with Pac-Man. I feel like there's going to be a lot of kids whose moms force them to watch the parade are going to be confused as hell when Pac-Man goes by.
The only balloon I want to see is a $100 horse on top of some favorite I've backwheeled, and that would make for a great Thanksgiving day. But you're right, the parade, and people always ask, "Hey, did you watch a parade?" And the
At
answer
what
is
time does that
always a
freaking
flat-out
thing
no.
start? Like 5:30 in the morning? Like every time I wake up on Thanksgiving Day,
Usually a couple of
and they're
washed-up
halfway into the
celebrities
parade.
are
There,
hosting. Yeah, somebody who hasn't been on
in the
TV in
morning.
40 years.
They're,
the host.
they're,
Yeah.
they're into the third totally irrelevant band already playing.
Excellent stuff, Professor. You have a good one, you and your mom, and anyone else. It's
A little behind the scenes. Are we doing the other show? Because I never got an invite, Dave.
we could.
You
I'll
don't have
send it
to.
you.
That's fine.
No, that'd be great. I'll send it to you. I believe I have it.
Sorry to do behind the scenes business to this audience, but really, seriously,
Yeah.
sarcasm aside, have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you hit your parlays. Who are the Defo picks, by the way? Do we give the official Defo parlay?
I'm thinking about.
I haven't yet, no.
I could do the all animal parlay, so I'm thinking about the 3-dog night.
Okay.
I'm just taking the points in all 3 games, which the gods of gambling are particularly cruel. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I mean, the Bengals look a little shaky to me, to be honest,
Bengals
but
shaky.
I think the other two are very alive.
Yeah, Green Bay's definitely got a shot against Detroit. Detroit's got a lot of people missing.
Cowboys
Chiefs
at home.
are certainly not insurmountable. Cowboys playing well after they got down 21-0. They made a nice comeback there, showed some character, and the Bengals with the Ravens aren't blowing people away. So I don't think they're as good as they were. Obviously, they're not record-wise as they've been in the past. But are they a runaway freight train, or is the rivalry enough to have the Bengals motivated with Joe Burrow coming back? Probably, yeah. I mean, look, what are the odds? You know what happens whenever I call in a parlay for you to assist me with.
You'll win 2 or 3 of them easily. You'll win 2 or 3 by like 3 touchdowns, and the third one you will lose by about 75 points.
By a hook. All right, Professor, I'm going to send you that link, and thanks so much for being with us. Everybody else out there, we wish you the happiest of holidays. We will be back with you on Monday with this program, and hoping everybody just has a wonderful weekend. Lubie, you too.
Happy Thanksgiving, one all.
So it should be a lot of fun. And thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you Monday, the next edition of the show. For Mike Lubie, it's the Professor, Tony Segreto, and Ed Garcia. We say, hey, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time as we leave you now that.
The time.
I'm trying to think if I still have that link. It's 9:09.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my show.